Why are you trying to convince me that I'm not a scoundrel when, in fact, I am a genuine scoundrel? Nikita responded wisely to his friend's attempts to persuade him otherwise. They had gathered to celebrate Nikita's upcoming wedding, just a month after they had celebrated his divorce. "I left my first wife. I left her," Nikita exclaimed, reminding them of the circumstances. Still, they continued to revel in the occasion. The friends reminisced about how they had celebrated his divorce just a month earlier. And now, their friend was about to embark on another marriage, a cause for celebration once again. "And you say I'm good?" Nikita continued, sharing his inner turmoil. "The only thing I can promise is that if things don't work out with Oksana, perhaps I'll return to Daria." Nikita paused, his words pregnant with meaning. "But," he said thoughtfully, "decent men don't do that. If they marry, it's for life. And if they leave, it's forever, without a second thought of going back, even if something goes awry. Especially when children are involved. And I have 2 boys, aged 15 and 10. "Come on," his friends grumbled. "You expect us to believe in lifelong marriage too. What if love fades? What if it was never genuine? And what if true love comes your way now? Will you spend the rest of your life tormented and in agony?" "Yes," Nikita responded, "that's exactly it. Otherwise, what would become of us all if everyone started falling in love after 16 years of marriage and moved on to someone else? Do you see my point? And if you don't leave, then life isn't worth living," his friends added. "Not happy, of course." "Not happy," Nikita admitted. "And who said it has to be any different? Only people like myself who can't help but live otherwise. So if your new love happens to be 15 years younger, what do you say to that, my friends? And if you no longer love Daria, how can you hold on?" "It's tough," Nikita agreed. "Not everyone can do it. I, for example, couldn't. That's why I'm a scoundrel. But honestly, guys, jokes aside, even though I left Daria, believe me, I wish her nothing but the best." "What do you mean good?" My pals were puzzled. "She's still got time," Nikita retorted. "She's only 38 like me, right? Anyway, all is not yet lost. Who knows where one might find joy? Admittedly, I get that handling 2 kids isn't a walk in the park. But still, why not? Life brims with wonders. Perhaps someone will come along who'll adore her just as she is." "What do you mean, adore her?" His friends were again at a loss. "Yes, exactly," Nikita snapped back. "Literally. She'll meet someone new and get hitched. What's not clicking here?" "Oh, gotcha," his friends finally grasped, suddenly enlightened about Nikita's point. And here we were, clueless about that. What more is there? I do worry about Daria, quite distressed about her and her future indeed. What if things don't pan out? What if she ends up alone indefinitely? Finding a decent man these days is tough. Sure, I'll support her with child support and the rest, but let's face it, my contributions are hardly enough to stretch far, you know. Honestly, better to be upfront about it. Just think about her situation, managing alone with 2 kids in a tiny apartment." Nikita's expression turned somber, and he shook his head wistfully. "Honestly," he murmured, "it weighs heavy on my heart. Seems like somehow this is all on me. Even if indirectly, I'm to blame." "No," his friends countered firmly. "What do you mean, no?" Nikita was perplexed. "She won't end up alone," his friends reassured, "so no need to fret about that anymore." "I shouldn't worry?" he questioned. "No, you shouldn't," they affirmed. "And why's that?" He probed. "Because she's already found it." "Found what?" "Joy, I mean," they clarified. "Literally. She's tying the knot next week. Getting married." "You're kidding. You didn't know," they exclaimed. Nikita's face drained of color as he looked at his friends in stunned silence. They returned his gaze apprehensively, silent themselves, anticipating what he might say next. "It hasn't even been a month since our divorce." Nikita whispered, "She's getting hitched." So they claim their love is so intense that they couldn't resist. Mind-blowing love. Who has this mind-blowing love? He didn't comprehend. Daria, the person we were just talking about. The friends were bewildered. Daria, it must be her then. So no need to worry about her anymore, and you don't have to see yourself as a scoundrel. Well, if it's truly as you insist. Nikita shrugged, a forced smile appearing on his face. Exactly so, you can rest assured. Sleep tight. Then all right, Nikita responded, his voice filled with anxiety. I'm at peace. Thank you, my friends. You could say a weight has been lifted off my chest. So you're saying she's tying the knot? For love, the friends clarified. Yes, Nikita absent-mindedly replied. I recall now. He fell into deep thought. Observing their friend's melancholy, the friends considered changing the subject. But Nikita redirected them to their previous topic. How is it? Nikita softly uttered, awakening from his thoughts. I might say I feel empty. I might say it's eating at me. I can't sleep at night, feeling like a scoundrel. And she's already preparing for marriage. You seem calm, remarked the friends. Are you joking? Exclaimed Nikita. How can I sleep peacefully? What are you talking about? I don't even know who her future husband is. And do you by chance know who he is? A dog knows who he is. All we know is that he's 15 years younger than her. What do you mean, 15 years younger? Nikita cried out. What's she thinking? How can it be? She has children, my children. What kind of example is she setting? The friends exchanged looks of bewilderment. You're going to tie the knot too, they reminded him. Oksana, she's also 23. What's the problem with that? Or are we missing something? Of course you don't get it. Nikita responded. You're overlooking the most important part. And he really is 23. Exactly. The evening meant to celebrate a future wedding was now a complete disaster. With the mood thoroughly soured, Nikita bid a curt farewell to his friends and headed home, where his fiancée, Oksana, awaited. The entire journey home, he struggled to comprehend what she saw in him. She's 38, and he's only 23. He's a young guy with his whole life ahead of him. They say their love is unbreakable. What does that mean? And what about me? Did she really leave me for a younger man just like that? Is it possible she married him immediately? Reflecting, he remembered how he and Oksana had been together for 3 years. And them? Could it be the same for them? 3 years? How did it go? Oksana inquired when Nikita walked into the apartment, saying goodbye to bachelorhood. I'm not up for jokes right now, Oksana. What's got you in such a bad mood? Did something happen? Nikita regarded his future wife with a cloudy, stern stare. Just imagine Daria's getting married, and the guy is only 23 your age. Why is that bothering you? Why shouldn't it bother me? Nikita couldn't hold back his frustration and yelled. Seriously, anyone but you should be concerned. It was your idea for her to get married in the first place, remember? I wanted her to tie the knot with a respectable gent, you get me? Someone with a bit of mileage, you know? Older than myself. Older because I have her best interests at heart. And she, this new bloke, he'd eventually desert her. Perhaps he won't. I walked out on her, so he will too. It might take 15 years, but he'll leave her. Why does it bother you so much? Are you seriously missing the point here? Or are you just playing dumb? No, I honestly don't. I want her to settle down with a mature, responsible guy. Right now, you're marrying me. I'm 38, right? I don't have my head in the clouds like I did when I first got hitched 16 years ago. But we might split up too. And if it happens in 15 years, then so be it. Or even sooner. We'll find new partners and chances are they'll be considerably younger than us. What's so shocking about that? That's just the way life rolls. So you're saying that come 15 years from now, when I'm 53, will be kaput, and you'll hook up with someone younger, who by now will be decades younger than me. Is that what you're getting at? Even if that's the case, what's the big deal? You could do the same, shacking up with a young lady who's younger than me by 15 years. Is that the angle you're pitching? Exactly. So you reckon 38 is still in the spring chicken zone? Well, by the time you're 53, she'll be a spring chicken in your eyes, won't she? So let me wrap my head around this. In 15 years, I'll be wedded to a 38-year-old, and you'll be with a 23-year-old. Is that where you're headed? Not carved in stone, but it's within the realm of possibility. But why are you so worked up? At 38, women often maintain the glow of their 28-year-old selves, which isn't usually the case with men. And your wife will be. Oksana barely got the words out before she was interrupted. Scram! Nikita erupted. I can't stand having you around me. You should leave. Oksana responded in an even tone. You're raising your voice. This is my place, after all. Within 20 minutes, Nikita stormed out of the building, luggage in tow, and frantically started calling for a taxi. An hour later, he was at Daria's door, hoping to salvage what he could and prevent a mismatched union, but it was a futile effort. He discovered she had already tied the knot a week prior, and they had all moved into his house afterwards, a week ago. But I heard their wedding was supposed to be next week. You got the wrong end of the stick, the neighbors clarified. And they're planning to lease this apartment. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. Catch you next time.